Yesterday, I did a video titled Genshin's Middle Finger to Players is Hilariously Bad. In this video, I went on to detail how Hoyo doesn't seem to care about their players. They do seem to care about their game, but not necessarily the players, because for their 3rd anniversary, they gave out a grand total of 3 polls. This video was very well received, almost 20,000 views, 550 comments, 97.5% like ratio. The video in question garnered me 40 additional subscribers. Genshin's players know and understand that, yes, the game is good, the game is fun, but at the same time, Hoyo really doesn't care about them. It doesn't see them as anything more than a dollar sign. I love Hoyo. I've worked with them dozens of times, but at the same time, like, we can agree they don't really seem to care much about their players. And that's fine. They don't need to. They're wildly successful. Now I'm going to do a video on Tower Fantasy, which you no doubt already saw the title of, so you know what to expect. The Tower Fantasy players are probably going to come into this and criticize the video. They're going to dislike the video. They're going to say what they always say, which is, no, Tower Fantasy is great. Hada are flawless or infallible. Everything about the game is good. But no, this right here is Hada, the studio that develop and publish Tower Fantasy, emulating Hoyo, but significantly worse. And we're gonna go into why that is. Before we do though, I want to take a moment here to thank our incredible patrons over on Patreon and will allow for me to continue to do dedicated videos like this every single day. Now, let's jump into this and see how much hate I garner for this video. So Lady Knight Durandal for Empress tagged both Mrs. Stix and myself on Twitter, showing the Evangelion collab in Tower Fantasy, which is actually so cool. I think this is actually one of the coolest collabs they could have done. Now, if all they did was implement the event for players to enjoy, to participate in, the content to consume, then that would have been fine. But they confirmed the Reboot Servers, also known as Tower Fantasy 2, were going to be releasing globally. The Reboot Servers carry over no data. So let's say, as an example here, you decide you want to participate in this event and spend money. When the Reboot Servers come out and everyone moves over to them because of all the alterations that are being made to the game, due to all the overhauls that happen that make Tower Fantasy Reboot the go-to version of the game, nothing you obtain in this event will be usable. Which means you're spending money, you're spending time, you're spending resources that will ultimately serve no purpose. Anything you spend during this event, you cannot bring with you. So what is the point of the event? Money. Right now, they are trying to maximize their revenue. They put a lot of money, a lot of time, a lot of resources into creating Tower Fantasy Reboot. In an effort to maximize their earnings, they've released a very hotly anticipated collaborative event. The only thing is, once Tower Fantasy Reboot launches globally in the near future, because it already launched in China, no one's going to be playing on the current version of Tower Fantasy anymore, which means everything you spent was just lighting your money on fire. And they know this, yet continue to do it anyway. Now, this Reddit thread does ask for people's opinions on the new Reboot server, so we're gonna have fun reading through a few of those. This is an attempt to double dip. They could rework the current servers, but then they wouldn't have the chance to make players pull on all the old banners again, which is true. To obtain any of the characters that you want, you're going to have to spend money on the new Reboot servers. This is gonna cater to the whales heavily, that are going to be spending probably cumulative total of millions of dollars. Hada thinks our players are idiots. Hopefully no one falls for this. I guarantee you a ton of people are going to be stupid enough to fall for this. You got to start over, and nothing from your gacha pulls carries over. Yeah, no thanks. The biggest difference between the Reboot server and the OG server is the weapon and character balancing. Other than that, there's some content removed, but it's still the same game. They didn't fix the story. They didn't fix a terrible map design. They didn't fix a horrible UI. Could this new server be the opportunity for the game to shine again? This is a great opportunity to kill an already dead server with dead matchmaking while providing no compensation as Tencent and Hada milk the player base to its bitter end. Oh, here's Condimon. He's actually a regular commenter on my videos. The reboot is just a fresh start server with some tweaks. The core game is the same. It may delay, and this is probably the most important comment in the entire thread. It may delay Tower of Fantasy's decline, but it won't be enough to save the game, or it might just make it quicker. There we go. That is the end of the discussion right there. What they are doing with this is not an effort to make the game better. This is an effort to make small enough, inexpensive enough alterations to the game to garner interest, so players have a reason to try out the new server and to spend money again, to abandon the old server, and to focus their development on this version. In so doing, increasing their revenue while not making a separate version of the game, while not making significant effort to actually improve the game. This is a cheap way of making as much money off of the game as you possibly can, while also reducing the amount of work and effort you put into it. Now again, the Evangelion collab, very cool. What they're doing with the servers and trying to milk their players, not cool at all. That is pathetic, which is a shame because the anniversary coming up gives you up to 135 free pulls, an SSR weapon selector box, the Evangelion collab. There's so many fantastic things coming in this anniversary, and then they just, like, what is the point of having an SSR weapon selector box? What's the point of having those 135 pulls when everyone is going to be playing the new Reboot server and all of this is pointless? Like, at this point, at this juncture, why even play the game? We all know everyone is going to migrate over onto the classic servers because it's just better there. There are overhauls made that people want, and the content is more difficult. There is absolutely no purpose in playing the game right now, and they're going to fracture the communities between servers. There's going to be very few people left playing the live version of the game. Again, why bother even playing until the global Reboot server launches? All these events should have happened after the global Reboot server, but no, try to get as many people back as you can right now, try to get as many people to spend as you can right now, and then just fuck them all over with the new Reboot server and make them do all this shit all over again. No, that's pathetic. Screw you.